Hello, everyone, and welcome to another discussion. Today, I will be discussing the concepts of relevant and irrelevant cost. This is a very important concept, especially for CMA Part 2 exam, where Section C, decision analysis, and Section E, investment decisions, you will constantly need to take the help of this. In Part 1 also, it is used, but not everywhere. But in Part 2, it's very, very important. So let's understand one by one the different cost phenomena. First of all, understand this that in a layman's language, relevant cost is that cost which is relevant for a decision making. Why am I laughing is because the definition is not at all clear, right? Relevant cost is that cost which is relevant for a decision making. That means it is to be considered for a decision making. Whereas irrelevant cost is irrelevant, should not be considered while making decisions. We are not talking about accounting. Now let's look at some of the common costs or types of cost that you will encounter during your CMA curriculum. First is sunk cost. Now, most of you might be aware of the definition already, but still, of course, I'll write it down. See, in a layman's language, sunk cost is that cost which was incurred in the past. And no matter what decision you take today, the results of that will not be affected. Understand this from an example's point of view. So let's take the example of stock market. I think most of you are very well versed in that. If not, also you are very much interested. So let's say see A Limited or Mr. A purchased 1000 shares of Tata Consultancy Services, one of the biggest companies in the India, on 1st of April 2024. So A Limited purchased 1000 shares of Tata Consultancy Services on 1st of April 2024, around 9-10 months back, when the price was 4,500 per share. Today, the price of each these shares, stock or share, is 4,400 per share. So price has come down. The question is, should A Limited consider the purchase price that they paid, 4,500 per share, when they are deciding today on whether to sell the share, hold, the share or invest more amount. Often during my teaching career, I have heard students say, yes, they should consider it 4,500. Sir, how can we sell the share? We will sell it at a loss. Let's hold it. But you have to understand one thing, my dear, that 4,500 per share you paid was in the past. You have already paid that. When you are deciding today on whether you should hold the share of TCS, sell or buy more, you should take into account future factors on what do you expect from the company in future upcoming years. You cannot change the past. We always say, right, past cannot be changed. Let it go. So why are you not applying the same concept here? Let go of the past. You will say, but we are incurring a loss. So what? If tomorrow the price falls to 3,500, then you will be incurring more loss. If the price further falls to 2,500 a share, then you will be incurring more loss. The decision whether or not you should stay invested in this stock should only be based on future factors, because no matter what decision you take today, the purchase price, the cost has already been incurred and you cannot change that. I'm not saying this will not be included in accounting calculation. Of course, if I decide to sell this stock today, 100 per share loss, 1,000, so total 100,000 rupees loss or 1 lakh rupees loss. But that is accounts. That is accounting. Accounts and finance are two different things altogether. Accounting will calculate the profit or loss because of your decision on whether you want to sell, hold, or buy more. But finance is when you are making that decision. So finance has no place for sentiments. You cannot hold on to this share just because you think you are making a loss today. Maybe your loss will only increase. There was a time when Yes Bank used to trade at close to 400 back in 2018, 2019, or 300, I think. Then it kept on falling, kept on falling. The prices reached 5, 10, 15 rupees. Today they are trading at 20 rupees. Of course, many people who would have purchased it at that time at 400 per share, they would not have been able to sell the shares because losses were there. But today, the value of the share is almost negligible. Maybe 20 years later, it will again become 800. But what about the difference? This time that you are losing, you could have invested this money somewhere else and earned, right? So sunk cost, that is why we say that these are relevant and irrelevant cost for decision making. The concept of relevant and irrelevant cost is not for accounts. It is for making a decision. So sunk cost should be ignored because the amount is already paid in the past. And no matter what decision you take today, you will not be able to change your past. Can you change your past unless you have that Harry Potter thing that Hermione had? Harry Potter fan, actually. You cannot change it. So when you cannot change your past, let it go. When you are making a decision today, make it based on future considerations, not on the basis of past cost. So this is first cost, irrelevant, sunk cost. First example, the cost that was incurred in the past and is completely irrelevant in decision making. When you are making a decision whether to sell the share of TCS, hold on to this share, or purchase more, it should be based on future factors, not because you paid some money earlier time or years back, whatever. Because you have to think about future. So and again remember, they will not write what is sunk cost in the examination. You will have to identify in the question that it's a sunk cost. So characteristics is important, that the cost has already been incurred in the past, and no matter what you do today, you cannot change the past. So ignore it while making the decision. Only consider future factors. So see, this will be a series of lectures because every time I'll discuss one type of cost. So today, of course, I am discussed only sunk cost. Maybe tomorrow or day after tomorrow, I will upload one more video on another form of relevant or irrelevant cost. So of course, if you like the video, like, comment and subscribe to the channel. And if you are interested in CMA classes, you can WhatsApp me. Thank you everyone. Have a good day.